Good morning, friends. Welcome to Moxie Gardens. Today's going to be a little bit different video compared to what you're used to with this channel. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of anything. I'm going to move some planters around, but I do kind of need some more of your advice. You guys are doing a great job giving me some feedback. I'm going to need some more because I think I'm switching things up. My wife is going to be pleasantly surprised when she sees this video, if she chooses to watch it. That being said, I just want to get some little things out of the way. These planters right here are from Nebraska Furniture Mart. If you have a Nebraska Furniture Mart, if you're going to be around in the next couple weekends going into spring, I'm telling you, they've got some great deals. These planters in the back are considerably tall. They're 3 foot, almost 3 foot tall, 2.5 feet tall. And those were only $69. The ones down here, this is $39. These two were $49. So super cheap. Look at all of the character they have in there. The patina, it's just absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to fit in really well with this part of the garden. So yeah, just want to kind of get that out of the way. We're going to fill these up. I've already got some soil. I probably won't be doing that in the video today because I'm looking for some color right through here. Obviously we have this red bud. That red bud does great, but again, it's going to slowly fade out and as the leaves come on. I have a little bit of color that breaks up the green background with our border right here. And then of course this white birch. And then I've got 3 more planters right here, also purchased at Nebraska Furniture Mart. A little bit different style than those over there. Still beautiful in their own right. I don't want to be in our video too much, but you can see here, look how gorgeous those are. Really good. So once I pop in some colors, that being said, my wife and I will be going on a vacation starting Friday. So after Friday, just a reminder, I will not be doing any videos for about 2 weeks. It's our 25th wedding anniversary. We're getting away. So no videos for 2 weeks. So bear in there, don't unsubscribe. Stick with me, I will be back. But we are going to pop in. By the time I get back, I was going to fill these up with some of your early winter, or pardon me, your early spring annuals that I can pop in here and then remove when I got back, but I'm just not ready. We've got one night, and that's tonight. That is, temperatures are 30 degrees and 31, which is not good for the garden, right? So I'm not gonna, pansies would have been fine, but I'm just not even gonna deal with it. I'm not even gonna waste the money to get them in here with me going on vacation. So these are gonna stay empty for just a little bit longer perhaps. If not, and I get a wild hair tomorrow, I'll be planting some pansies so there's some color while I'm gone. Okay, moving right along. Someone had commented and my wife's going to be ecstatic. But we've been contemplating, my wife keeps asking me to break up those planters back there, suggesting. And I've been talking to you guys about these azaleas and rhododendron, and I want to, I don't go through and I don't purchase the 1 gallon. Cost effective, yes, it would be if I just went with that. But we've been talking about azaleas, we've been talking about rhododendron, we've been talking about nandina, and you guys are giving tons of suggestions. But someone had suggested too, like my wife, that we take and break up this big clump and narrow it down to 3 or 4 and just kind of clump those throughout. And that's what my wife and I have been debating, but my wife's been really pushing for it for a while. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna move some around. Just pan you around here, but I think I'm gonna add some in here and over there. But until I get back from vacation, I'm not gonna make a sound decision on what we're gonna be doing in this area. Still getting a ton of feedback. I'm still doing my research because of that darker area of shade. But you can see here that I've got these 4 clumped here. I typically would do just only 3 or a 5 number, but I think this works really well. And then of course we'll probably do what we did last year and add some more succulents, and I think that'll turn out really well. I do have one right there that is exactly like these that I could pair up because I do have some more planters In fact, let me get those out just a second. Okay, so would I leave them like this? This was your property. Here's our hot tub. This is a fire pit. We take the cover off and you just get that ambiance, a little bit of heat. Or do I move them over here? Maybe one over there, maybe two. Let's check it out. Okay, so that's kind of the way if I'm looking over the hot tub or if I'm standing up on the porch or visiting. This is kind of what it would look like. So do I do two here, one there? Those are the only three that I have, that color. Again, got those from Nebraska Furniture Mart as well. I purchased those last season, probably around almost December. Got them on clearance. So that was a good deal, but you can see here where it doesn't stand out. We've got a lot going on, and can you see, let me step back here for a minute. So you can see all of our natural colors, right? We've got the browns, brown of our home, brown of the hot tub patio. Then we've got a little bit of green in there. Until this rhododendron fills in this space, man, I could see doing some asparagus ferns in there, giving it that, would that be chartreuse color, and maybe a petunia or two just to kind of give it a different color over here. Man, that could turn out really sharp. I already have planters here. I think that's right here. I think this overall is kind of staged pretty decent, but I'm thinking that's a good little view right there. Sitting in the hot tub or just let me pan over here. This is where all the family sits at the different tables. But yeah, that's a go right there. We can mix those up, but man, could you see the green? All of our natural colors, but then you're looking at those red planters with that asparagus ferns in there, or some type of fern. I think that would be sharp. And then right here we have a chartreuse, Japanese forest grass coming up. I think that will all blend in well. Of course, this cord will disappear. It's not going to be there forever. I just kind of haven't got to that part. So that being said, now I need to move these blue ones, and there's some honkers. So I'm thinking maybe three or four. Typically you want to do odd numbers. That's a preference. That's not the end all be all, but perhaps the idea of leaving 3 or 4 here, a couple of the taller ones. In fact, we'll just kind of get it. And I'm thinking, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. Break that down to 3, 6, and then 4. So maybe do 3 big ones right through there, perhaps, and a 4th small one. Then do I use this corner to do 3 and then perhaps carry it on over here, do 3 here? Or because this will be our darkest corner, do I do 3 right here? Let's just move it around and see what we got. There's options, right? And then when I get back from vacation, then we can really settle in and figure out what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be honest with you, even though I'm gonna go on vacation, I'll still be thinking about this, like what can we do? Vacation's absolutely fun, but I still think about my garden and what we're doing. So I think we'll keep those 4 right there. I think that's perfect. I think the reds are perfect. We'll just kind of, I'm gonna see if I can get my son out here a little bit heavy, and we'll see, we'll kind of stage these and see what we think. And then you guys can give me some feedback. Can't wait. Let's get them moved around and see what, see how it takes. I want to keep 3 of them here. I think those 2 big honkers there. No, I think I'm going to keep 4. So we'll keep those 2 here. Maybe this one. Maybe we'll take the one that has stuff in it. Just watch out for that. I think we'll take this one. Yeah, let's see. Let's take this one. Gotta go for the stone over there. One stone. Just in that corner.
Yeah, those pieces I gave you, I'd take this out and put one of the ones I gave you.
Yeah.
'Cause that's cheap and trash, I'm not gonna lie. Those fitting set. Trash. One or 2?
Just one. That gives me a little bit of elevation. Okay, let's do a little recap. I think these 2 look good, right? I think they're fine. If anything, no, I think they're good. Like I said, we'll drop in something bright in here. We could probably do petunias in here or something fun. On that planter over there, some ferns, something okay. We'll get a little bit of sun to keep the petunias happy, and we'll get a little bit of shade to keep the ferns okay. Okay, and then right here, obviously, you watched the making. We've kind of cleaned this up. I need to go back, flip that stone, or pardon me, that brick over. That center block will face up and down so the water can drain through there. Then we came through here, just smoothed this out. I think the placement's fine. I like it. I think it'll be fine. I can go back and really underplant. We've been using the word ajuga, mondo grass, monkey grass for quite some time. Again, we can do the same things and repeat it over here so it carries. I do have right behind me, sorry about that. Under here we have a bunch of ajuga. So ajuga's fine. It works out well. So a little backstory that I don't think I filled you guys in with. These birch trees were put here when the yard would flood like crazy. So we researched. This was very in the infancy of me learning that I have a knack for this and a love for this. So when the yard would flood, oh man, it would be right here. And that's how we ended up with this bridge. Well, then we found out birch trees really, I went down, started to inquire about plants, trees and stuff that would drink a lot of the rainwater. birch tree was the number one. That's what they suggested. That's what I got. That's what I brought home. That being said, we fast forward to now. It's hard to dig in this. There's a lot of roots all through there. And I'm talking like surface roots. You can barely see them because I've moved a lot of the soil around, but there is a lot of roots in there. So me getting in there, I almost have to plant from seed if I'm going to plant something in there, or very, very small ajuga. Almost basically I put a layer of soil down and then lay whatever plants I decide to go in there on top. So that's basically it. I will not, and especially if you are new to gardening, never put soil up against there. You'll go through and you'll see a ton of trees in your neighborhood that have either bark volcanoed around it, or you'll see someone wants to add a new planter around it, and so they pack a foot of soil in around there and then put a border around. It looks good, but eventually it's going to do more harm than good. You should always just leave that that top layer of your trees alone. Don't push anything up against it. Even when you lightly putting mulch in there, I think it's a good habit to not do that. So you can research it. Good luck with that. But moving forward, I think this all turned out really well. So I'll go back, I'll find something perennial that really softens the bottom parts of those stones, and then the planters. I think that'll turn out really well. And then you can go with your imagination. If we do the ajuga, that dark burgundy up against those planters. If we do monkey grass, you can see that color right there. Whatever it ends up being. Maybe we just pick an annual. And the reason why I'm not 100% sold on going through and digging up and doing a whole bunch of different things is because I like to sit and wait. Let the project marinate. This project over here is not going anywhere. Those planters, I really appreciate how cute they are in that spot. So this right here needs to grow on me. I like it right now. Will I like it again next season? If so, that's when I start planting, and once I start getting comfortable with it, that's when I'll start planting up a lot of those things instead of running out right now, throwing in a bunch of perennials and then asking for forgiveness later as I'm digging them out and tearing up more roots to the trees. But yeah, I think overall this turned out really well. I think I'll end up liking it, and I can bring around more mulch and stuff. You can see right here I have a bunch of daylilies right there, so they can grow in rivers around here and ditches and dig them up, and so that's what that is basically. All right, let's fast forward over here. We've got all the azaleas right through there. Now you can see this corner really turned out. Now I got some color, right? Now I've got a little bit of color. I've got the brightness of this driftwood. Open this gate. I've got the brightness of this driftwood, which plays a role. So now all of this right here, this whole spot right here, will probably end up manifesting into something else. We talked about doing azaleas and all that, which can still be a possibility. I can still do azaleas right through here, and then back in this way we start doing hostas and heuchera and, you know, the coral bells and different things like that. I could put some different things in those planters. Those planters have to be taken in or covered, so I have to pull the soil out, and anything that's anything I plant in there will have to come out late fall before our first freeze, or the pressure of expansion and contraction will crack those planters. So that's why they sat empty with a tarp over them for most of the season. So yeah, now this just materialized into something else. We've been talking about the Nandina and all the different plants and shrubs that we can add in here, and now it's just turned into something else. That's why I'm asking for your guys' advice, because sometimes it'll snap and I'll have something that I can put in here that will completely change the whole trajectory of what we were thinking. This could still possibly stay the same, right? Because we have this big sweeping. This is probably, I'd say, almost 20 feet. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but from where I'm standing, clear back there. We're looking at about roughly 20 feet of planting space by about 4 feet. So 20 by 40, or 20 by 4. And then we added, we mirrored the same thing, right? We've got the planters on both sides, and then we've got the driftwood on both sides. This I can play with a little bit more. I can add just a little bit more. But man, the ideas that you guys are giving me, I know we've been on this project for about 4 days now, and I do apologize, but all the feedback is great. The azaleas sound great, the nandina sound great. There's pros and cons to all of it. So that's I think that's kind of where we're standing right now. And then with the temperatures right now, I just don't know if I want to go and do anything while I'm gone, because I don't want to ask my son to come out here while I'm on vacation, and I don't want to weather check the whole time I'm gone. So yeah, I think in all, this turned out really well. I want to know what you think about the red planters. This little spot right here, I think that turned out well. Kind of hard to tell overall because I've got the soil all mounded up. These two pots, the planters, I think the only question that I would have, of course, the bricks will not show, right? That's just, right now we're just in the middle of setting it up. But I think we can either mirror on the other side, so I can go get a couple more planters. These ones actually came from our local nurseries. That was Family Tree. Yep, Family Tree Nursery. And then I could put 3 more right here, so then we can mirror that. And then of course I talked about these planters up here. They're not going anywhere. In fact, I don't know if I shared with you, there's a label there still, $19. Any nurseries, that would have been 50, 60 bucks just for that little one. Maybe 40. Anyway, I think it's turning out really well. We've got promise for what we're looking at. By the time I get back onto our property in a couple weeks, almost towards the end of April, I'll have a better idea of what we're doing. But I think for right now, I can go ahead and plant up all the soil, plant these up with all the soil, and then when I get back, I should have a pretty good idea of what we're gonna do. So let me know what you think about the red planters. I think they turned out well. I think all the placements are good. So that being said, I'm going to go and start covering up a lot of what we're doing here in this garden, because we have a freeze warning tonight, 30, 31, like I talked about. So I will see you guys on the flip side. I hope if you're in one of those warnings and you got some happiness growing in your garden, that you're able to get out there and get it covered up. If not, so be it. We will see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye now.